Hello. Hello. We're going to start this real soon. Aha. It's working again. All right, we got a Geo Zerera saying morning. Good morning, sir. We got a howdy from Crop Top. Well, what's up, Crop? Mr. Top? What else we got here? Oh, we got the Stream Elements bot running up in here. All right, all right, all right. Morning wasabi. All right. Ian Wee, what's up? What's up? Andre, good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. Crops watching from the M train. You going to work? Andre's going to work, watching from the toilet. All right. We got Mike in here saying tap to tap 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 tap. What's up? What's up? Holla. Dimitri can let everyone know. Dimitri, I can let everyone know more details. Yeah, let us know when you're done, sir. Gio, what up? Ian's on the E train back home. Pistas should have knobby 23C tires and riser bars. Okay. All right. All right. We got Art Falcon up in here. What's up? What's up? Gustavo. Hello. Hello. All right. This is a special edition live stream today, starting a little early. I'm already out of coffee, thinking about making some more. What's going on with y'all? Anything good? The world is still burning and turning. We're still out here riding bikes, having a good time, hopefully. All right, let's say what's up to the gray names. Dimitri, what's up? The Chipper Route. Yo, Terry, you inspired me to shoot more bike videos. Emery, what up, what up? DJP, hello, hello, hello. Dan Courier, hello, good morning. Crimson, hello, hello. Cenobite, hello, hello. Tosh Esh, hello. Dan McGuire. Ryan Phillips. Rydalin, what's up? We got an Astoria local right here. Astoria from Oregon? Oh, Queens? Okay, okay. What's up from Denver? Pac Manic, can you do a video where you ride? This is not question time, Pac. Ian Otto, hello, hello. It is not 11. Please hold. It's 11 now. What's up, Hev? David Roberts says, good morning, kings and queens. Mr. Sengaku, hello. Luis, bom dia. Good morning to you, sir. All right. Go make some, dude. You talking about the coffee? Yeah, I might get some more coffee. I just finished a cup. I need some more, I think. We might make some in a little bit. We got Jason in the chat. What's up, Jason? I got a special question for you in queue. I need one more queue order, please, Jason. Please. Please. What's up, dude? That new dad hat, yo, boss. Yeah, check out the hat, dude, right here. You see it? You see it, right? Is there, I think there's a way to like promote it somehow in here. Hold on. Shopping. Ah, what? Oh, here we go. Ah, it's not available. Oh, is it? Where is it? Ah, here we go. All right, yeah. We'll go ahead and throw that product in there. Also, I got this new, look at this, the new Champion camo windbreaker. It's fucking wild. I haven't seen it yet, printed on yet, but anyways, I'll drop those in there for you. Doom, 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 doom. Oh, I can only do one at a time. Anyways, this is the hat I'm wearing. Appreciate y'all who made orders already. Very kind. It supports the channel. Supports me 100%. Zane D, what up? We got Yoey, what's going on? Never had a coffee, but mega banana. Okay. All right. So let's talk about what's going on today. This is a special thing. Everyone can watch and pay attention, but what in the heck? Let me slide this. There we go. I made a post to channel members only. So, you know, those of you who aren't channel members, I'm sorry you couldn't participate in this, but told everyone I scheduled a live stream tomorrow, trying something new for channel members. Also for Patreon. I still have a Patreon. That's right. Oh, am I dropping frames? This is looking real weird right here. Yeah, 8 frames per second. What is going on here? All right, sorry about the drop frames here. I don't know what's happening. This computer's getting old, y'all. That's all I can say, I guess. Anyways, so here's the questions. It doesn't say I've dropped frames yet. I'm just in slow motion. Hopefully the audio is still going through. Internet woes, I guess, or computer woes. So I'm gonna scroll to the bottom here. What I said was I want to do try something new for channel members. Drop your questions. I'll post the answers during the stream. See you tomorrow. So I want to do this, you know, maybe once a month type deal. The reason why I do these streams, the original reason this came out of a progression of just, you know, reaching directly to viewers of the channel, more of the everyday viewer. You know, I do have quite a few subscribers on YouTube, and I'm learning that just because people are subscribed doesn't mean they actually watch your videos. I have 200,000. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for subscribing, you know, but not every, there's only I can name most of the people off who are here all the time. And this live stream is mostly for those people and channel members. So these are questions, and I thought it'd be cool to touch base with you guys. So the first response to this was Ivy Ray. Do you know who Ivy Ray is, everybody? She didn't post a question. She just said, great idea. That's Cooper's mom, everybody. Say what's up to Cooper's mom. She is a fucking channel member. Shout out to Ivy Ray for that. Just wanted you guys to know that's actually Cooper's mom there. All right. Art Falcon, question an hour ago. Art Falcon says, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this in here. I'm going to turn this off now. I'm going to pop this right here as a question, and I'm going to drop it on the bottom. So this is actually Art Falcon's question, and then he wants to know, any chance we get to see the Japan video again? Well, Art Falcon, I guess it's really depends on what Japan video are you talking about. Those of you who aren't familiar with the channel back then, it was the summer of 2019. I went out to, I did a bunch of traveling that summer. It was the first year I was freelance. I left the production company. I had a really good run through the end of winter, all the way into mid to like early summer, or mid spring to early summer. And I decided to take the money and run. I made a conscious decision to like do some traveling and actually put some effort. That was the first time I was like, I should put some effort into the YouTube channel. So I took a break from working, even though I was doing really well. And I went out and traveled. I went to Italy, I went to Japan, and I went to Russia. And when I went to Japan, it was in June, and there was Tracklecross Worlds happening. There was like CMWC in Jakarta, so a lot of people went there. And I shot my first conscious attempt of traveling somewhere specifically to shoot YouTube videos. So I shot 3 hotlines in Japan. And I shot some other videos there too. I shot 4, maybe 5 hotlines actually, but 3 in Tokyo. And those 3 videos with people who live in Japan, I put them up on YouTube slowly, one at a time. And I posted a video with one individual, and the video was an instant success. Like, it was like, you know, if you look at graphs of, you know, you've probably seen graphs of like people's watch time and like, I don't know, analytics and shit. The graph went like this. I posted it and it was up like this. And the next day it was like a straight line. And then the next day it was like a straight line. It was just like the views. I think it had 40 or 60,000 views in the first day. So it was on a viral kind of takeoff. The problem with that is, or was, I should say, or is, it still is a problem. That's why you might not see the videos. Is that the person in the video was arrested. And this is something that was hard for me to wrap my head around. But the person who I filmed in the video, he wasn't even riding by any means, especially if you look at it compared to other videos on the channel at the time, was very mild riding. Not saying he was a mild rider. He was fucking phenomenal. He's a phenomenal rider. Very cool style. Can do it all. Fast. I don't know. A nice dude. But the people saw the video in Japan, and regular people in the comments were having conversations about calling the cops on him and snitching on him. So they did. And someone even wrote, I was translating this stuff. I should have like blocked them. I don't know. I don't know what to do because it was only up for a couple days. Yeah, so that video had to be taken down. And that person is tied to a really large cycling. He's connected to people pretty high up in Japan, in the cycling world out there, and it reflected bad on him, probably really bad on me, but I get the I forget the word, but I'm just I'm not from Japan, so we don't understand everything there. Gaijin, I guess is the right term. I'm just a white dude visiting. Gaijin, I forget. Tatum will correct me, or someone in the chat maybe. But I was asked to take that down immediately. He was in jail. I got like many calls, messages, and emails. So I did. I took it down. And I felt bad about it because there was a series of videos that were coming out, and it seemed like every 4 videos someone's telling me to take the video down, and I'm like, why? Why are you can't tell me? Why are you telling me? This is my channel. You can't tell me to take my video down, I was a little puffing my chest out about it, right? So yeah, I had to take the video down. All right. So then I put another video out with a different rider, super mild. No one's running lights, nothing. Have to take that video down. Put a third video out with a whole nother different rider, not connected to any of the same people. Well, maybe a little bit. I mean, they all know each other. That person reached out to me, asked me to take that video down. And I'm just like, yo, what the so my whole, all of the work and the filming and the all the time spent it just all taken away from me. So that's what happened. So one led to another, led to another. So 3 videos all taken down. And honestly, the riding isn't that gnarly at all. But I don't live there, and I don't live, you know what I mean? Like when I go and film with somebody, it's not because I'm like, yo, go ride crazy. Like the whole idea behind filming these hotlines originally was to just showcase how people actually ride. So you don't have to ride fast. You don't have to ride a certain way. Just ride how you ride. And if you stop at lights, it's fine. It's really okay. But that's, there were some red lights that we went through in the first video, but we rode on a Sunday and it was empty. We rode through an area of Tokyo that was a district that was, dead on Sundays, on the weekends, really. And we even rode through an area of Tokyo that was closed to traffic only for bikes on Sundays as well, which is just funny. So that all got taken away, and that's what happened. So back to the question, any chance we get to see the Japan video again? There's 3 videos. And I took the videos down out of respect for, you know, the people told me to take the video down. But I did for Patreon and channel members. Patreon members, I did do private link videos just for them, or unlisted videos where if you were a member you get to see it. But there were times when I unlocked it and I saw like the views like kind of went too high, and I got scared. I thought people were sharing the link or something, so I blocked it again. Wolfrez says, re-up with blurry faces. Wolfrez, I did that. So that's what I was going to get to next, is like the first video that I got asked to take down. I went through and After Effects out every single shot where you can see their face and scratched it out with like hand-drawn animations, which took me like a week to do. Posted it up, immediately got an email like, yo, you think this is funny? This is like, they know who this is. You have to take that down. So I did. So I took it down. Can't do it. And that's what happened. Art Falcon, you're talking about a certain rider. Yeah, that video, I have trimmed that video down to just the night ride footage. And that was posted. I'll let channel members see that one actually. So I can do that right now actually. And I'll do that after the stream's over. So that's that question. All right. So the next question is, this is the bike challenge asking, let me see here, sorry. The bike challenge is asking, how do you sync audio from your DJI wireless mics into your video clips? This is something that I've went over a few times. First of all, I don't have DJI wireless mics. I use Rode Wireless Go's, but that's, you know, besides the point. It works with anything that records audio. So let me see. I can't really show you because my computer's going to freeze up. It's having a hard time just streaming these days. Yeah, it's a clap. So this is how I sync audio. We'll just pretend that, I mean, this is, here, hold on. Let me turn this light on. There we go. The product light. That way I can put stuff in front of the camera. Okay, so upside down, Terry. So we'll just pretend like this is a Rode Wireless transmitter. It's actually the receiver. So this records to itself, okay? And what a lot of YouTubers do, I'll use Brian, BKXC, for an example. I just went and binge watched a bunch of videos I missed of his while I was on bike tour that he did over this summer. So shout out to BKXC if he's watching or not. Most likely not. What he does is he plugs, well, pretend like this is a regular GoPro. This is a this is a GoPro Mini, the 11 Mini. But what he does is he uses a media mod and he plugs in the receiver into the audio port of the media mod, right? And then he uses the transmitters, and those go into the GoPro, so it's automatically in the camera already. The way I do it is I do that sometimes, but I really dislike the media mod for a bunch of reasons. I do use the media mod for streaming, but the media mod has a bunch of hiccups and errors that happen. And I find that no matter what happens, the GoPro does a very strange thing to audio. It always takes... It adjusts the gain, even if you turn all the audio, the wind stuff off, and you turn all the mixing off, and you have a raw audio processing. It still does this thing where it will like increase the gain on its own, and it drives me absolutely nuts. And I'm not a audio professional by any means, but I don't like the GoPro telling me what to do with my audio. All right. So what I'm going to do here, what I do here is I have these little fuzzy mics to help with audio. And if I'm going to, I wouldn't really use it with this setup, because this goes in my mouth. So I can't really talk anyways, but, if I wanted like my audio or audio of the bike ride, what I would do is it's a little bit hard to do, because you can't stop and start the camera too much. But when I start a ride, I hit record on the camera. Is this going to turn on? I think the battery's dead. So I turn it on, beep, 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 camera's on. The mics are on, right? If one person's wearing them or two people are wearing them, clap my hands. And I do it so all the microphones can pick up those claps, and then also I can see from the camera my hands clapping. You have to be able to see your hands as well. That's important, as like a final, like last, like catch-all. So then when you go into your audio or your Premiere or whatever, you go to dump the files. It's a two-step process. You basically dump your cards, so you have to dump your camera footage onto the computer, and then you also have to use the Rode Wireless Go app, desktop app, and pull the audio. And the good thing about that is you're going to get better audio out of this than you will if it was plugged into the GoPro anyways, because you get I keep hearing it's not a real Float 32 file, but it spits out a Float 32 file, which is like a raw audio file. And you can really mess with the gain a lot and pull it down. It's kind of like shooting digital video. You don't want to you don't want to clip the sound. That's like the most important thing. So if you keep your audio levels a little lower, you can always go up a little bit. So anyways, these two things together, and then you bring in your your GoPro footage, and your GoPro footage has the audio that it records from these little mics here into your audio files. You bring in your Rode audio files, and you bring them in. And then when you clap really close to each other, clap, 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 you'll see a spike. You'll see this little of three like spikes right next to each other. And what you do is you align those spikes up. Sometimes in Premiere, you have to option click the timeline and change it to see audio. It's called like audio time or something. And basically, if you don't do that and you tab over your audio files, right, it's only going to do it by your project file's frame rate. So like if my frame rate's set to 23.976 or 29.97, 29.97, it's only going to move, a 1/30th of a frame over every nudge, right? Or 1/24th of a frame over. If you change it to audio levels, it's way more precise, and you can line those up way better. And sometimes I'll get comments like, oh, there's an echo, or like your audio's off. It's because of that. Sometimes like me nudging things over and like locking them back up. Sometimes something gets bumped or something. So that's one of the problems. But you get the most bang for your buck for audio that way. It's a lot more processing in Premiere, but once you get accustomed to the workflow, you basically drop all your clips in linearly, like in linear time wise, right? And then you drop all your audio in the same way, and then you nudge it. You match that clap up, and every time you stop your camera, you have to re-clap again to resync it. And then you can Premiere has gotten good at automatically. Tim's right. You can do an automatic, like the auto sync. There's also that. That's another option, although it doesn't always work. So it's very good to just practice doing it right every time. And that's also thanks for bringing that up, Tim. That's also a really quick way to do it instead of having to nudge everything over. You can do it that way with Premiere first. But you have to do that per file. And sometimes what happens is like sometimes you have to redo it for every video file, which is a pain in the ass sometimes. So, Resolve has the same feature exactly. But yeah, that works really well. People used to have to pay for that software as an addition. I forget what it was called. We used to use it a lot at the warehouse where I used to work. Pluralize. Yep. But it doesn't always work. So again, and the reason why specifically for anyone who films bike stuff, there's wind noise, and that wind noise on the GoPro isn't going to be the same on your microphone. So Pluralize or Premiere or all of these different things will have a hard time syncing them, especially when you don't clap, because you're not giving it a good reference point. So it's very important to always do a clap. That is the old school way of using a slate. You know, when film crews go like this, and they slap the thing down, that is a backup for when audio is not properly synced up. All right. Zane D. See ya, dude. All right. So bike challenge. Hopefully that helps you. That's the easiest way to do it. Again, it'll take you a while to figure that out. Not figure it out, but figure out the workflow. But once you get it dialed, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Rode Wireless Go, Joseph Kendrick. What's up, dude? Rode Wireless Go, man. They're very affordable. They're cheaper than an action camera these days. So I would get one of those. They were just on sale, I believe. Rode Wireless Go 2 is the one you want. DJI makes a version as well. Okay. Let me see. All right. The next question is from, it's another editing question. This is good. I like this. All right. This one's from TJ Bogle. TJ Bogle says, what do you use as far as editing software and for color? Trying to learn Resolve for coloring, but it's kind of confusing coming from Premiere. At Terry B. Hold on. Sorry, TJ. TJ Bogle. So, hopefully you're here. Say what's up if you're here, please. If you're not here, you're probably going to watch this later because you're a channel member. So you have access to this live stream when it's gone. TJ, I use Premiere Pro for editing. I use Premiere. I started editing on Final Cut 7 a long time ago. In college, we had Final Cut 7, and I used Final Cut 7 in my one editing class I had. And then I went from I went from that into Premiere like pretty quickly, like maybe 6 months. So I already had the hotkeys. I'm like most people, hotkeys are your friend. It's better than having to dive into the menus. So what I did to switch to Premiere, what I should say, what Adobe did to make it easy for people like me to switch to Premiere is they offered a Final Cut 7 hotkey change. So like all the hotkeys from Final Cut Pro, there was a button you can click in your preferences, and it switched Premiere to the same exact buttons. So that's what I use. People like me are who are using that are they're kind of getting away. It's hard because I've watched tutorials on YouTube lately, and people are younger now, and there was no Final Cut 7, so people just know the Premiere keys these days, and it's kind of weird. Like exporting, I think is Command M, which is weird for media, I guess. Anyways, that's what I use. I use Premiere Pro. I find that it's not the best at everything. Obviously, you're talking about your next question is Resolve. I have Resolve. I have Blackmagic products, so it comes with a copy of Resolve, and I gave myself homework assignments to use Resolve for editing and color. And the reason why it's powerful, their color suite is really good. And then they're adding editing to it. So there's just like a workflow built into the software. If you do mess with Premiere, you'll notice that last year they changed theirs to do this, mimic exactly what Resolve does now. So it's like one workflow pass, meaning like there's like a little sub window on the top, and when you click it, it'll change all your windows to import footage and like browse, and then next one is for editing, and the next one's for color, and the next one's for graphics and all that shit. So anyways, I don't know. I use Premiere because of the other apps that Premiere has. Photoshop. Yesterday I was using oh my god, I'm spacing on why can't I think of what I'm trying to say here? Hold on. After Effects, thank you. After Effects is something that is something that I use. I used to use it more, and now I haven't used it in a while, and I'm starting to dig back into After Effects again, just for like titling and stuff. So yeah, the workflow from After Effects to Premiere is super nice. In fact, yesterday I did I made these little mic'd up graphics. They're pretty clunky, but on yesterday's video about the night ride. So I made a preset through After Effects that creates an editable graphics package in Premiere. So now all I have to do is drag from my Premiere window, and it drops in that animation, and I can edit the type. So when I mic up a new person, I can just type in their name. I don't have to go back in After Effects and do all this shit. So that's stuff that I like about the Adobe suite, is that there's stuff like that goes on that is just like you can't fuck with that. But for color, 100% agree with you. DaVinci Resolve is like the way to go. But I'm not a huge colorist, and I can't, I can't say a lot on that really, because I don't dive super deep into it. Like, I don't feel like people like the type of videos that I make aren't, they're either bike rides with GoPros or they're more montagey. There's less like, talking heads like right now. There's less that I have to really dial in and work with. So There's less like having to power window stuff and like really mess with color. So what I do is I use Premiere, but I also use a plugin called Film. I've talked about this before. It's Film Convert Nitrate. And what Film Convert Nitrate does is it adds basically they take your sensor size into account, and they do they make these kind of film emulation overlays that you can tone down, tone back, and they're great for just not so you don't just, you know, if everyone's shooting with like a GoPro Hero 11, right? And everyone shoots with like flat color or whatever. I forget the different levels of color on the GoPros now. I shoot in flat. But if everyone just does that and then uploads it, like one way I thought to separate myself from more like other people using GoPros is just like slightly tweak the color a bit. So that's why I started using Film Convert. I also really like the film grain that you can add to it. And I know people have a real hard time with film grain or noise. Noise and film grain kind of get confused with each other sometimes. I find that film grain added after the fact actually helps break up the noise. If you do have a higher ISO, if you have some noise in there, the grain helps it a little bit, I think. It also helps with like color banding and blocking, I feel like. So that's just my personal taste. I also shoot at 23.976 frames a second, and I know a lot of people on YouTube prefer 30 or 60 sometimes. These are just things that I personally like. So I don't know if these are going to work for you, but this is what I use. And then on bigger cameras, I usually find I have a really nice LUT that I use for the the FX3 over there. I use a LUT that was made by Caleb. He has a DSLR shooter YouTube channel. I bought a LUT from him that I really like. It's just like basically a Rec 709 LUT, just toned over a bit. I don't know. And I use that, and I have some filtration on the camera, so it has a certain look to it. So that's what I use for that stuff. Let's see. Hopefully that answered your question. I kind of rambled a little bit. But basically, a final thought for color is I would say make sure you always try to get it correct in camera first. And when you're shooting, you know, I want to say 80% of my videos are shot with tiny cameras. So it's really important with those small sensors to you don't have any wiggle. You really have just the tiniest bit of wiggle room in there. And, you know, one little mistake can ruin all the footage. And most people like to shoot in auto with GoPros, and I'm starting to lean that way more on bike rides where I don't know where I'm going and a lot of changing conditions, obviously. But it has a problem with overexposing things, especially if you're in spackled light or like in the trees riding a mountain bike. So, you know, I always underexpose a little bit. It's always better. That whole thing that I said earlier about the audio is once you clip the highlights, that's it. But if you're a little dark, you can always bring it up. There's more room bringing it up, especially when you shoot in the lower ISOs like I do. If you want to start talking about dynamic and range and all that, that can get really complicated. But I always like to keep my ISO levels lower because it usually creates more range in the lower end. And so when you bring it up, it looks a little better. Anyways, next question. Let's see. This one is from Dude Bro Holla. And Dude Bro Holla. Let me clear this one. Dude Bro Holla is saying, oh, it's so big that it's not gonna fit, is it? Here, hold on. Let me bring this up a bit. There we go. All right. Dude Brohala is saying, you might have covered this before, but can you talk about your bike travel setups? Bike or bag and packing recommendations would be great, especially for flying with a carbon frame. Dude Brohala, great question. I slightly covered this long ago. I have the same bag, an updated, upgraded version. I'm going to go ahead and post. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and post my, let me grab the link first. I use a really expensive bag. And the reason why I use this bag is because it does everything. Does this have the thing in it? There's so many knockoffs of this bag. It's fucking crazy. Here we go. All right. So here, I'm going to put the link in here, but I use an Evoc bag, and the Evoc bag is a bike. I should have just left that up. Oh, whatever. It's a bike travel bag, and it's for mountain bikes. First of all, they do, I mean, you can put, let me rephrase that. It's a bike bag that will fit my full suspension mountain bike here, the one that forks off. I can talk about that in a little bit. For someone who has multiple bikes, like myself, who likes different types of bike riding, it's important to buy a bike bag that will fit your biggest bike. So in that case, that's my mountain bike. So if my mountain bike fits in this bag, I know for sure all my other bikes are going to fit in that bag. So I use the Evoc Pro bag. It has a rail on the bottom, and it holds your dropout. So it holds your fork, and it holds your rear axle. You slide in these axles. It has adapters. A lot of bikes have different dimensions, and it's really important to have the right one, because if it's too small, and say I'm running boost on this mountain bike, which is a regular standard these days is 142, and now it's 140, I think it's 146, 46, 148. It's 148 is boost, 148 millimeters. So if I'm trying to squeeze my frame into a 142 to get it tight, I'm like crimping my frame. So it has all the right sizes. It has all the right dimensions for axles. Like some axles are 15. Some of them are quick release. Some of them are 12. Some of them are, whatever. They go all over the place. It has all the axles. It has all the adapters you need, all the spacers you need for boost, non-boost, this, that, quick release, all this shit, right? I've even traveled with my track bike in it, and everything fits perfectly, and it costs a lot of fucking money. But if you ride a bike and you spend money on your bikes over the years, you kind of want to, I personally don't want to put my mountain bike in a cardboard box and cross my fingers and hope it arrives in one piece. Another reason why, and I'm not knocking the cardboard box, I've done it multiple times. It took me a long time to finally say, hey, maybe I should spend some money on a bike bag because this is getting ridiculous. The thing that made me buy this bike bag or a bike bag and not use a box anymore, was when I first went to Mexico City and I filmed with that first time with Safa. I brought my gravel bike, and I was like, I was just going to bring a cardboard box. I was just going to put everything in a cardboard box, my gravel bike, and fly to Mexico. Luckily, I read the small print on the flight. It was a JetBlue flight. They specifically do not allow, at the time, allow people flying to fly with cardboard boxes. And I think part of that was just to stop people from traveling with big screen TVs and stuff. Maybe that's my what I think. They might have changed it since then, but back in the day when I flew, 2000, wasn't that long ago, 18, 17, you had to, you couldn't fly with a box. So I had to buy a bag. And when I was forced to buy a bag, I was like, this bag needs to fit my gravel bike. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, they have half bags, where you can fit a frame in. I know Post Carry & Co. makes a bag that's pretty good. The problem with those bags, in my opinion, is that my mountain bike wouldn't fit in it. So then if I wanted to travel, I'm buying a bag, but one of my bikes don't fit in it. It doesn't make sense to me. So I went ahead and spent more money and bought the Evoque, an older Evoque that Andre now has. He's still using, that fits mountain bikes. And that makes it nice. That makes it like that's the way I would buy something. I like to buy things and not have to rebuy them. You know what I mean? Even though I did buy a new Evoque bag. But the old one's being used by Andre, so that's great. What was I going to say about cardboard boxes? Yeah, I mean, my mountain bike was brought here with a cardboard box. And other downsides to cardboard boxes, in my opinion, again, if you're just traveling with a track bike or something, a cardboard box is not bad. You know what I mean? It's like, it'll get you there, and your bike's probably going to be fine. With a track bike, there's no components there. One of the benefits of riding a track bike, there's nothing to break. There's no, you know what I mean? There's a little bit, only a little bit of things there. But when you have, hydraulic brakes and all this other shit, and you're shoving it in a box, you're rolling the dice every time, in my opinion. And then one thing that's hard for me sometimes is that I go to I might travel to a couple places. Once I get to wherever I went, I might have to stay in 3 or 4 different locations. So now I'm carrying this cardboard box with me. Oh no, throw the cardboard box away. Okay, so now I have to go to a bike shop and find a cardboard box. It's not always that easy, especially when you're someone like my size who needs the largest box. This just happened to me and my friend John when we ended our bike tour. We had a really hard time. We found one box. We had a really hard time getting the second box. It was stressful. He had to cut 2 boxes, I believe, and make it work, which is always an option as well. So that's my whole shtick on the cardboard boxes and traveling and all that. All right. I think that's the end of the questions that we got. I'm going to check and see. Maybe I'll refresh. Maybe someone posted a new one on here. Nope. Only 5. Okay. Cool. So that's the end of the channel member questions, but I can answer some questions here. You still got the bike rack? Still got what bike rack? Oh, Jack the bike rack. Yeah, I still got Jack the bike rack. Yes, I do. Let's see. So the bike channel says, I say use a rigid bike box if traveling to UK airports. They like to throw stuff hard at the airports. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of airports, really. I've seen it everywhere. But the Evoque bag, you don't need a hard case because of the way that it's mounted in there. It's like floating in a capsule. Even the wheels are held on the back, and it's like I've never had any issues with any bikes, any rubbing, any dings or scratches. It's pretty good. Someone would have to like drop something, like my bag would have to be sideways, and they'd have to drop like a car rim on it. You know what I mean? Or like a brick. to like, you know what I mean? Because it would have to be something kind of narrow and heavy, because it's, even if they threw it, which I've seen them do, it's in this big thing that's, the wheel things stick out a little bit, so it's pretty protected. Haven't had any issues. Here's Bike Challenge again. Another editing question. How do you deal with white balance across clips and different camera angles, especially when riding through the woods and off-road? The Bike Challenge, interesting question. White balance is easy. Although I've had lots of videos where the color is off. The easiest thing to do, I guess it's harder for where you're at, because like maybe it's raining in the morning and then the sun breaks out, you know, and then your color balance is off, or your white balance is off. The easiest thing I'd say for you is for a GoPro, if it's raining or cold out or whatever, you know, cloudy, I typically go up, you know, to like 6,000 Kelvin on the GoPro, and I never, ever anymore. I have done some tests in the past. I do have videos like this, but I do not shoot an auto white balance. That is a no-no. You don't do that, especially with the GoPro, because when you go into those woods, those lush green woods, the camera's going to freak out and think, hey, it's too green in here. We need to change the color, and it'll pull the greens down and it'll do some weird shit, and it's not a good look. If you're riding through those woods, you know what they look like, particularly in autumn here in upstate New York, in New York City, in this part of the country. The leaves change really, you know, yellows and oranges, and when you ride through those, your camera freaks out. And so what it does is it tries to balance that out, so it brings the temperature down and turns everything blue and tries to neutralize that warm color that's coming out when you know you were there. That warm color is real. So stay with a color balance that works. I find that shooting around, you got to mess with it. Like I said, I change it. This isn't a standard for every riding condition, but if it's kind of rainy and cold or cloudy, I go up towards 6,000. If it's a sunny, beautiful day, I stick around 5 to 5,500 Kelvin. If I'm riding at night, I'll usually bring it down a little bit. You know what I mean? With the fake lights, because they're more, usually they used to be more warm lights, but nowadays things are starting, a lot of lights are on the cool spectrum, which I really hate. So I don't know. Lately I've been kind of leaving it at like 4,500, or I'll leave it at 5,000. Like the recent video, yesterday's video I posted, that color balance was set at 5,000 Kelvin. So the white balance shouldn't shift. You know what I mean? On a bike, when you're moving, I think the most important thing is getting your key light. And when you're outside, your key light is the sunlight. So making sure that light is correct. Am I right? Like that's the light you want. You want that main source light to be the correct white balance. So if it's out and it's shining, it's usually between 5,000 Kelvin and 55,000. 5,000 Kelvin and 5,500 Kelvin. It usually somewhere in there. It looks. I mean, there's only two options. It depends on how you like it to look. One's gonna look a little cooler than the other. So that's what I would say to you about that. Okay, let's see. Here's a good question by OC Bike for DS. Terry, do you find you need a gimbal for stability while mountain biking? It depends. I like motion blur. I've talked about this in other videos. I happen to like motion blur. I do. It's how I see the road and the trails when I ride them. When I'm riding down a single track path at speed, things are blurry to my eyes on the edges, right? I can see what's ahead of me. They're sharp. I can see unless I'm hitting rocks, then it's kind of not sharp, right? You're getting all jumbled. And I want to give the viewer the best representation of what I see while I'm doing it. So I like motion blur. The only way to get motion blur while you're shooting with one of these cameras is I have to use a gimbal. You cannot put an ND filter on your camera and have the in-camera stabilization work successfully. It just doesn't work. You need light. You need light to have stability for it to reframe the shots and take all the bumps out, right? So those videos, when you just use the camera without a gimbal, have advantages, and there's disadvantages if you want it to look. If I want it to look how I want it to look, and I want there to be motion blur. So yes, the answer is yes. I still want a gimbal if I want to do that, but I do shoot sometimes without a gimbal. The Insta360 X3, I think, is a fantastic camera for riding mountain bikes and trails. But the problem still exists when you run out, and the GoPro 11, and when you run out of light in those woods, in those areas of wherever you're riding. When, like, a lot of times, especially in the summer, you ride in these thick areas of forest and it's dark in there. It's way darker in there than it is, with the direct sunlight of summer. So your camera can't keep the stability sometimes, and you see it. You see people's footage. It gets all bumpy and shaky and blurry, even with the newest cameras. Or it gets really, really grainy and noisy, right? And the colors get a little weird and mushy. That's the camera bumping its ISO really high, so then it can have a really fast shutter speed, right, to stabilize the footage. That's what it's doing. So yes, on gimbals, but oh yeah, and then here's the downside to gimbals is that when you're riding really, really steep stuff, you're riding and you're fucking, you're got your seat all the way dropped and you're riding straight down some fucking crazy cliff, right? You're looking down and you can see how fucking steep it is, but your camera's pointing straight and you can't see what you're riding down. And that's the disadvantage of the gimbal, in my opinion, is that. And there's modes on the gimbal. You can change the mode on it so you can have it straight when you're upright, and then when you go down or up, it can go up and down with you. But I haven't experimented too much with it. I feel like there's probably some problems with that as well. But yeah, that was a ramble, huh? Hopefully that answered your question. Lit Costello. Hopefully I'm saying that right. What winter gear do you have to combat the harsh winter conditions? I have a video on this. I feel like I need to make another video on this because I guess I didn't make the first one correctly because nobody knows about it. I have a video. It's all about the things that I did to make it possible to ride in the winter here in New York. Even just getting from my house to the studio is a fucking chore sometimes. It's so cold. Like this morning, yesterday, and the day before, I leave the studio, it's 33 degrees out. I don't care if it's colder where you live, all right? After once it dips into the 30s, I don't care if it's 39. The difference between 39 and 29. It's just fucking cold out. You don't want to be on your bike when it's cold out. And what I do is I use bar mitts. I have bar mitts on. I have drop bar mitts, and I have flat bar mitts. My commuter, which is the All City Super Professional, has bar mitts on it right now, and it's great. So I use bar mitts, and when I don't have my shoes here, my winter shoes. I have these Physiques. They are the X5 Arcticas. They are winter riding shoes. It's basically a shoe that has a shoe cover on it, kind of, and it's a mountain bike cleat, or like a mountain cleat. So no road shoes in the winter. It's just, why do you want to do that to yourself? Why do you want to do that? Like in the winter, I feel like you need to be able to walk around more and like get her, you know what I mean? Like for me, it doesn't make sense. I feel like you're getting off your bike more. There might be ice. You don't want to be in road cleats. You know what I mean? Put the fucking mountain shoes on for the winter. So that's what I do. And I really don't ever wear road cleats too much these days anyways. But just saying, Physique Arcticas, bar mitts. And when you wear the bar mitts, you can get away with riding with Giro D&D gloves, like the thin boys that tear really easily. Someone made a comment about that earlier. Yeah, those are simple ways to stay warm. Those shoes are on the pricey side, I guess, but Andre just found some on Amazon used, so you can always do that. Excuse me. And those are old shoes. They came out like 5 years ago, and they're fucking warm, man. I don't know. Humans were designed for bikes has a question. What kind of stabilization do you do for hotline videos? For example, like your remastered Tony 3-bridge vid. Well, humans were designed for bikes. I made a video about this, but again, I know no one watches those videos, it seems. When I make these videos, I know no one watches them because they don't really get any views. But I talk about this stuff, and they just don't appeal to you or the algorithm sometimes. And it's becoming more and more aware to me that when I take the time to do these more technical videos, they don't work. And it's probably why I don't do them very often. All right, I can talk about that video. So I shot that video on a Hero GoPro 10, and I shot it with... I think I might have messed up, and I only shot at 16:9. That's why the remastered version is 21:9. So I'm using that. That's a gimbal with a GoPro Hero 10. So it's already stabilized by a gimbal, right? When I remastered it, I ran the footage through GoPro's GoPro Player app on the desktop, and I paid for the GoPro stabilization called Real Steady. It's built into the app. It's the reason why on my GoPro 11 video, the settings, I talk about the settings I use. It's the reason why I say shoot at full sensor, meaning the new GoPro 11 is an 8x7 sensor. The GoPro Hero 10 is a 4x3 sensor. Shoot at the largest size you can. That way Real Steady can take it and use all the extra info on the top and the bottom to stabilize the footage. And when you run a gimbal, it's already fucking smooth as hell. But then Real Steady comes in and does some extra magic, especially if you do like little tiny like swerve moves. It'll like slowly zoom in and zoom out really nicely, and it kicks out full 5.3K files, even though it's cropping. So it like interpolates and pixels your footage, and it looks damn good. And that's the only way I shoot now, so with the GoPro. Hopefully that answers your question, and sorry for the rant on no one watching videos. Let me see. What else do we got here? I think I went too far. Sorry. Affinity Cycle says, bro, you give cyclists a bad name. I agree. Are those titanium bike skewers safe? FIRN. I don't have a bike that has quick release on it. Sorry, bro. I don't know anything about that. Skewers? Who uses those? Why do you hate the cool lights? Blue lights? I actually have a little blue purple kick happening right now, but warm lights at night, they just feel better. Like, it just feels like if you look at a house, you want like blue LED lights in that house, or do you want like a warmer tungsten feel? Like, I'm of the warmer tungsten family feel. That's how all of our lights are in our house. Tatum is a photographer. She's very light sensitive and light aware, I should say. Sensitive sounds like a bad term. She's very light aware, as am I. So when you can walk down a block anywhere in New York City and you can just like look up into windows and you can see it's fucking gross. Some people live with like overhead, like, 7,500 Kelvin lights in their kitchen, or like a little bit of a green hue to it. It's just terrible living. I don't want to be in that room. You don't want to be in that room. There's a reason why under bridges in San Francisco, they have a really, really like it's like 23 Kelvin bulb. It's like orange as fuck. And then right next to it, they put like with some space, they put like an 8,000 Kelvin blue bulb, and like it makes people not want to be in there, and it works. You should check it out. The Stockton Tunnel in San Francisco is lit all the way down like that. There's a psychology behind it. No one wants to be in that fucking light, and some people live that way. That's why I hate cool lights. It makes me feel terrible. But right now I have it up in the background. Would you talk a little bit about the Joji video? What do you want to know? I don't know. I shot parts of that video. And then I posted the full edited version of everything I shot on YouTube. And that's it. I don't know. Someone else hired me to do that. So I did it. And then that's it. There's not a lot to say. Oh, yeah. Do you have a 360 camera or any other setups of that nature? Matter of fact, I do. Let me grab it. It's fucking getting cold in here. So this is an Insta360. This is the X3. This camera is fucking amazing. It's so good. This thing has a couple features on it that make it very comparable to a GoPro. The difference is the length of it, right? Like a GoPro is this way, where this one's long this way. But wearing it, there's some advantages, especially riding a mountain bike, because a lot of people they want to keep the camera kind of low on their body when they ride a mountain bike, and the length of this camera makes it, if you wear it on a chesty, puts that camera angle down way lower than a GoPro will go. So that's like a pretty big benefit in my opinion. And I don't know, I really enjoy this camera. I wish it was warmer and I was riding a little bit more to like really. I've done some weird stuff with it, but I haven't done any like POV riding stuff with it as much as I wanted to yet. But some of that's coming. And this is where I can answer this question. Are you planning to join any cycling events or bike packing in 2023? I had loose plans. As soon as I was done with bike tour, I really want to do the Tour Divide, which is, I'm not the tour. I want to do the Tour Divide route. I don't want to do the Tour Divide race. So let's not get that twisted. I want to. There's a route that goes from Canada down to New Mexico border, and you just cross through the entirety of the mountains there, and it's an epic adventure, an epic trip. Unfortunately, it's not something I can live stream. It would be something that I would film for YouTube and make updates. There is absolutely zero reception, zero chance for me to do any of that up there for for a live stream. It would be cool if I could, but I can't. But so I have that. Also, there's some LA tourist races. There's one in January coming up that I'm loosely dabbling with, wanting to get out there and trying to figure out what bike. I might bring the Cannondale Scalpel with me. I'm really beginning to really like riding this bike. It's didn't realize how much I would enjoy this bike. It's kind of rough. It's like times where I would normally bring the Drifter, I'm starting to want to bring this bike instead. Just because it's probably because it's different. I rode the Drifter across the country, so giving it a break. It's nice to ride. It's also nice. It's just nice to have a new type of bike, put some miles in on it. So yeah, LA Tourist, Andre and Jeff and myself and hopefully one more person, we were talking about going to North Carolina in January for a mountain bike trip in the Brevard area, Pisgah, DuPont, that area, do some mountain biking, heavy mountain bike session. I guess that'll lead me to this here. The reason why the fork is off my bike right now is, and those Elite wheels are just sitting pretty, is I'm getting my fork serviced right now. That's one thing about mountain biking that is something that I don't really want to dive into, is learning how to service suspension. It's just not something. It's not something I'm interested in buying special tools for and the parts for it and the fluids. There's a person in Queens who is really good. He's serviced my rear shock before, the rear one here on the Sentinel. You can see it there, right by the drivetrain. He serviced that and came back great. So he's good. So gonna send the fork in. The fork's been messed up for a minute. It's also scratched. The stanchions are scratched, which fucking sucks because I don't think it's ever going to be perfect. He might be able to repair it. I don't know. We'll see. So, yeah, we're going to North Carolina. So the bike is like, I'm dialing it in. I'm so ready to do a trip and ride. I don't know if you guys noticed. I fucking love riding mountain bikes. Like, I still like riding in the street, and I still enjoy, living in New York and riding here. But like, I just watch mountain bike videos and I just dream of riding. You can hear it in my voice when I am filming mountain bike videos. I'm like screaming and fucking making crazy sounds and just having a great time when I'm doing that. And it's not always that way when I'm riding through the city and stuff. So I just really enjoy riding mountain bikes, man. So more of that coming in North Carolina. Hopefully, you know, we get blessed with the weather. I've heard, I mean, it's going to be cold there, but it's not going to be, hopefully it's not going to be snowing and stuff. I've heard that you can get away with riding there in the winter pretty well. Clear that. Danny Hengel, what's up, dude? Just rolling through, show some support. Been a long time since I've tuned into one of these things. Dude, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Mac 900, what bike would I ride across America? I just rode across America. I rode with my drifter. I rode with an electric shifting hydraulic braked Livestream machine. John McLean. What's up? John McLean is the ice rider with Lucas Burnell, everybody. Bar mitts are rad. If you live in the suburban rural areas, you can go to Farm and Fleet or Tractor Supply Co's and find ATV bar mitts for snowmobiles. They work for bikes. Oh, shit. That's cool. That's really good to know. Demetrius says when he was commuting to work, he was using hiking shoes on flat pedals. Now, that could work, and some people prefer that in the winter as well. I don't know if I would use hiking. I mean, I have boots and I've done rides where I'm wearing, but I'm talking about being on the bike for 3+ hours compared to just like under 3 hours. I'm talking about like actually being outside and doing a ride you would typically not do in the winter. And the things that got me to do that are the bar mitts and those shoes. Obviously a fleece, leggings and all that is really good. And Danny's also saying bar mitts, no gloves, believe it or not, super warm. Totally agree with you there. I'm telling you, I've done that myself, and that's the power of the bar mitts is it's neoprene, and it just creates this like nice little warm pocket in there. And yeah, you can, like I said, you can get away with D&Ds and a lot of times no gloves, and you can still use your phone. It's like very, very convenient. Yo, Rodney, dude, what's up? How have you been, man? Crypto Dono. Thank you, Rodney. Rodney is the official Crypto Dono man out here, dude. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, man. I'm so behind on the damn where am I on these damn questions? I lost them. Let me see. Here it goes. Humans were designed for bikes. What cam did you use to shoot the recent Cooper vids? Those were shot with the GoPro Hero 11 using the same exact processes that I just told you. Everything I talked about today, exactly how I shot the Cooper video. Hero 11, gimbal on the helmet. Shot at full sensor with all the settings that I've talked about. and then ran it through Premiere, synced the audio exactly how I talked about it, ran it through the GoPro app exactly how I told you how to do it. Like that's what I do. You have the formula, man. Cosmo Discs. Hey Terry, can I do a paid one-on-one consultation with you? Would love your advice on how to set up my motorcycle videos. Whoa, that's always, yeah. Send me an email. Totally. I'm happy to help out. Here's a good one. I was hoping someone would bring this up. All right. Christoph N is asking, how's your Bike Angel business going? It wasn't much of business as much as it was a live stream game. I made, let me see if I can find the PayPal so I can show you guys. I made $200. And I only really worked 4 full days. So what's that? $200. So that's like $50 a day on average. Not very good. Not very good. But it was fun while it lasted, right? Let me see. Wow, they really changed the way this works. Where the fuck is it? September? No. Hold on. October? No. What is this song? Yo, I don't even know where it's at. Did I ever get this money? I don't even know. I can't find it. Sorry. Hold on. Let me see. Maybe there's an email. Bike Angel. Oh, here it is. Sick. $204. So I got an email. $204 is on your way. So Bike Angels paid out $204 for about 4 days of work, because there were some half shitty days in there for sure. And I will say I still haven't received any key fobs. Kind of mad about that, and I definitely of the opinion that if I had a key fob, that I would be moving way faster with that stuff. The phone thing really, I hated that. Let's see. This is a good question. Which bike would you do the Tour Divide on? I have a MASH steel mountain bike under here. I'd either do it on that. That's kind of the idea, is to get that built up with a whiskey fork, a dynamo on that bike and handle that, or somehow building up the Cannondale to do it. And it wouldn't be with that fork. I'd have to get the same exact fork that I would use on the MASH. I'd put on the Cannondale. The Cannondale would get worked. Either bike I would do it with, I would want to get a frame bag that fills the full triangle up. And that's how I would get away with it. And I would pack super minimal. But yeah, so either the MASH steel mountain bike, which is I'm not going to pull it out. They still have some of those hardtails available, by the way. If you guys are trying to get a mountain bike, the MASH mountain bike's pretty sick. Do you ride in Phoenix, Arizona? No, I don't. I don't. I haven't. I am thinking about about going out to Arizona soon, though, in January, hopefully. We'll see. Hevlox is saying, who is the suspension guru Terry B? If you look up on Instagram, I think it's Gearwork. I don't know if it's with an X or here. Hold on, let me look. It's like 100% a Instagram business, but I've met him. He rides. Gearwork. Oh, it's underscore. But if you type in yeah, it's underscore Gearwork. You have to deliver. You have to ship it to him, which is kind of a pain in the ass. So it's Gearwork on Instagram. Check him out. Like I said, you have to deliver it to him, which is kind of lame because I live in New York. I met him somewhere and brought it there, and he didn't really. Well, it was weird. It was a weird situation. So you need to ship it to him, but that's whatever. You gonna move to Colorado and be a mountain man soon? Probably not. Probably not. That's my home state. Love it. Tanner Jack Films. If you're around in January, dude, we're gonna be going to. Damn, I'm forgetting the name of the bike park. The bike park, DuPont. Probably do a little bit of the other trails, but depending on weather, obviously. Yoey's asking any Arkansas trips, Bentonville. I've already been, dude. I've been, man, I think I've been 3 times now to Bentonville. So, I do like it there. I can't go in there. It's cool. It's just like going there for too long. It's got to be quick trips, I think, and or you just have to travel around. I got not stuck, but we stayed in Bentonville for 3 days, and 2 days is enough to stay in Bentonville proper, I think, and then you should move on. I think there's other trails north and south of there, so, and then south east of there is Mount Nebo, which is really good. Any plans to visit BKXC? He's doing a trip to Peru, and I was like, oh, I want to go so bad. But no, I'm not going for passport reasons. It was a really expensive trip. It's like $4,000, and you have to fly there. But it's a 12-day mountain bike experience in the Andes. It's fucking incredible. I really want to go, but can't make it, man. It's okay though. There'll be more. Curtin says, can't wait to see more hotline quality mountain bike vids. Lots of mountain bike YouTubers' quality seem to be choppy. I think your vids would be a great new aesthetic. Yeah, there's certain challenges to filming on a mountain bike. To get motion blur and then also have like drops and stuff, it's really, really hard. And there's no one that's really filming from a helmet that follows people properly. You know what I mean? Like Nate Hills is the OG. He wears a chesty. Obviously Brian. I mean, I can list 10 good YouTubers who do a lot of POV stuff for mountain bikes, but it would be cool to film from the helmet and with a gimbal. The problem is, again, when you go downhill with a gimbal, you lose that. You lose that that tilt. You need the tilt on there. So I guess you would have to set the gimbal to move up and down. Left and right, up and down. You would have to have it on FPV mode maybe, because when you turn, or maybe not FPV mode, like unlocked horizon and unlocked or vertical and horizon, I forget what they're called, but no roll, right? And then when you hit berms, it would keep the horizon straight. Yeah, I think that could work. I want to experiment with that. What's up, Ramon? I'm late. What's good? Hello, hello. Indio says he just wears Vans and wool socks. In the winter, dog? On a 4-hour ride? Nah, it ain't gonna work for me. All right, I got bumped all the way to the bottom. Let's see. I'm looking for a good question here. Sid Reeser says, did you decide against building up the orange mash? No, I'm going through it. I'm going through a phase. I do this every once in a while where I just fucking get rid of everything. Selling everything. I'm selling everything. I sold so much stuff. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I was selling everything. All I have left is the orange mash and the I have a BMX bike still, which both of those had a bunch of offers and weird people from other countries, and just I was like, nah, I'm not shipping this to goddamn Finland, dude. No. I'm sorry. Like, the amount of merch that gets lost in the mail, I'm not shipping a bike. Are you kidding me? But yeah, I decided against building it up, so I'm just selling it for what I paid for it, plus a little more, because there's a couple more parts on there. But yeah, $650 for an XL mash steel. It's a good fucking deal. If it doesn't sell, not a big deal. It might. I'm selling all this stuff because I want to fund a new bike, a new mountain bike. So that's what I do. You know, I don't, I try to fund this new bike. So gotta sell a bunch of stuff. I'm thinking about selling this too. Let me see. For a crazy deal. I'm thinking of selling my YOLO Box Mini. These are $700 brand new. I was gonna sell it. Probably gonna try to sell it for $500, but here it is here. A part of me says fucking hold on to it because, you know, I might need it in the summer or for a job. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm on the fence about selling this one, or selling this thing, but I got it. It's sitting here. I'm trying to get rid of everything that was like taking up space. My parts bin is like completely, it's on the floor there. Not completely empty, but I got rid of so much stuff. 3 seat posts, a wheel set, some drivetrain stuff, handlebars, all kinds of stuff. And I wouldn't say I made money because most of that stuff I paid full price for, but I have a good chunk of money now I'm close to getting a new bike. I might buy just the frame. I want to buy a new Transition Sentinel. I basically, this is a size large, and I want an XL. I want a little bit of a bigger bike. That's it. If you guys wanted to know. Ian Wee, hold on. Bro, I do not have 7 or 8 bikes. First of all, Ian Wee, I do not have the Low Pro. Okay? I do not have the Low Pro, so you can take that off your list. The Mash Hardtail isn't built up, and I'm trying to sell The BMX. All the other ones, those are all, yeah. Canuga, thank you, Dylan. That's what I was talking about, the bike pod. ATB Media's in the chat, y'all. Your DP always reminds me of lamb chop sideburns. These are sideburns? Oh, the little profile photo? Yeah. Yeah, those are weird, huh? Can I make it stop snowing in Utah? You got to go do some snow sports if you live there, dude. Let's see. What do we got here? Any bike packing trips planned for next year? I hope so, man. I really want to do a live stream. Sean, if you guys watch the Twitch, it would be on Twitch if we did it, by the way. If we did some touring or packing again. Sean had a really good one that I really want to do. I gotta reach out to Sean and see how he's doing. I haven't spoke to him in a while. But that tip to tail Florida trip, man, that sounds fucking A1. Perfect for some Twitch shenanigans. I'm telling you, streaming it like it's just streaming the whole thing. No breaks. I think it would be sick. Yeah, so, yep. Next one. Hevlocks. There needs to be a follow option on the gimbal, like the drones that auto-follow you. Yeah, that could work. I can see that having issues, though, because it's connected to me who's riding a bike. But I do... I don't think I showed you guys, but I got my drone back. It's fixed. I was supposed to bring it with me to Mexico. But obviously you guys know I didn't go. But I have my drone, and that's one of the things I'm fucking super excited to use when I go. Like, I really want to go mountain biking in the Southwest. Like, the only person that has ever done it right, in my opinion, has been Nate Hills, and he hasn't posted a drone video in a while, like a drone cuts in a while. So I feel like maybe, I don't know. I really want to get out there. I've only used the drone for mountain biking one time on Mount Nebo, and I just used it on the intro of the video. And I really want to, I want to go somewhere where there's very little trees, and that's the Southwest, and ride mountain bikes. It would be so cool to get that perspective. So I can't wait to get out there. Do you have food to eat while riding a bicycle, like candy or chocolate? Hello. Yeah. Gummy worms, sour gummy bears, sour gummy worms. Chewy candies are the way to go for sure. Sugar is the fuel that keeps you moving, man. It does. Look at this. We have a goddamn tall Asian mic in the chat, y'all. It's always good to de-hoard. I still haven't sold my extras. Oh, yeah, Mike, check this out. Mike, those of you who are slipping, probably most of you here, you're slipping on, look at these. Slipping on Discord. Mike be posting some offers in Discord every once in a while. He posted something to get a pair of Adidas Parlay road shoes, which, like I said, I don't wear road shoes very much. These were $40. With Mike's code. I had to pay 80 because the code stopped working, but I still $80 for some Adidas road cycling shoes. I still fucking bought them. I was like, yo, but $40, unbelievable. If you're not on Discord, you're fucking up, because there's some good stuff on there every once in a while. I'm just saying. It's been quiet lately, though. I'm sorry. I haven't been on Twitch. It's more of a Twitch thing, I guess. I thought you liked the YOLO box. I think you should keep it. Yeah, but I'm just de-hoarding, and right now I'm not streaming. That's why I was like looking to sell it. But you're right. I'm probably gonna keep it, dude. Probably don't want to get rid of it. I do like the yellow box. Cortex says, let's say you have a track bike already and want to get a second bike. Only one. Which one would you get? I would get a gravel bike with a dropper post. That's what I would get. 100%. Hey, Terry, should I get studded tires for NYC snow? No, do not do that. You're going to waste your money and your time. The snow doesn't stay on the ground very long here. They put salt down. The roads get cleared pretty quick. There's only like sometimes a day or two where you don't need it. Carnell says, Terry B, what's the typeface font on your hat? Inquiring minds want to know. So if this hat, if you didn't know, this hat is, yeah, let me see. Let's see here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, someone sent me money. That's very nice of you. Thank you for this hat here is the shopping bag. Thank you for shopping with us. Right here. Or shopping here. That's a weird one. But you see this? Thank you for shopping with us. And you see my hat here. Very. Oh. Very similar stuff, right? Oh, that really dampers my computer there when I do that. It does not like that. The typeface, I forget. I'm sorry. But if you look up like the thank you for shopping with us typeface on Google, you'll find some close ones. It is a Google font. I do remember that. I don't think Terry would ever sell the number 22. That's a lifetime bike. You're absolutely right. I'm not going to sell it. Dade Murphy, where in North Carolina do you ride? North Carolina native here who rides with the NYC Social Rides. Dade, we're talking about riding trails, mountain bikes. So, yeah. Canoga Bike Park, DuPont Forest, and Pisgah National Forest, just to the west as well. That's where we ride. Hopefully that answers your question. JDR needs some Twitch tour redemption. Yes, I agree. We gotta get JDR back on the stream. You're right. You're right. John's asking a simple question here. What's up, Terry B? Just how old are you? I'm 39 years old. I'm an old boy. An old boy. Ooh, look at this with the little super chat icon on the bottom. This is sweet. Apina. Oh, man. Apinen Ravio 100. Thank you for the €5. Appreciate you. Towards bike packing, I appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully we can, I'll take this money and we're going to go and start working it, dude. Hey, Terry, what do you think is the next bike trend? Is the all-terrain bike the next big thing? I don't even know what that means, man. That's a gravel bike to me. And that's just, again, that's just coining a word, coining a thing. in my opinion, I've been riding an all-terrain bike. That's my drifter. My drifter has a dropper on it, so I can ride it on some stuff that people would normally want to ride mountain bikes on when it gets steep. It's, it's got hydraulic brakes. It's got Eagle gearing. I can climb up super steep stuff. I ride all terrains on it, so that is an all-terrain bike to me. And I don't know if that's maybe that's a phrasing big thing, but I think these have already been around, man. Carnell, right on. I thought it looked familiar. Yeah, that's where it comes from. It comes from the shopping bags. Thank you for shopping with us. I thought people would get the reference, but I guess not. It's probably because it's usually in red type. And I did think about doing some in red, but the white is cleaner on these. Let me see. For next year, you should do long sleeve merch, like the ones you use a lot. Oh, I know. I love long sleeve shirts. I don't know if you guys knew this. Fall, winter, and mid-spring, I wear long sleeve shirts a lot. In the summer, like the long sleeve Slow Squad tour shirts, we're really good. But yeah, this is what I prefer to wear in the winter, because especially here, you're wearing hoodies and jackets and shit anyway, so long sleeves are great. I don't think I have any long sleeve merch, which is funny. Mike is 45 too old to learn how to do wheelies? No, you're never too old. Remember to keep using it. You got to keep, I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but I am from the mindset that you got to keep pushing yourself and keep improving physically, especially physically, but physically and mentally, and keep practicing and doing things, because the older you get, the more things start to shrink up, your muscles and your mind, and you just got to keep on going and keep using and trying and riding and whatever it is, you know what I mean? You got it. Yo, new member over here, TJ, with that. I like this little shout out thing because it shows you're a new member. Look at your icon there. We got a little photo of you down there too. Thanks for answering my question. I'm glad that you're still here, dude. I was wondering. Just scrubbed back and watched it. Really appreciate the nerdy camera details. Oh, you're joining. I see what you're doing. Word. Well, welcome, dude. Thank you for changing to XO1. I appreciate the extra support. Hevlox is asking, Terry B, does the axis drop with your butt without your butt weight? No, it does not. You have to have weight on it. That's the way it works. Or else it would probably have to be too heavy for that to work. You know what I mean? But yeah, while you're sitting on it, you have to push it, and it drops and you stand up. Hev says, Mike, he's past that age and he's still trying to learn them, so you're good. Totally, dude. You could still, you know what I mean? You still have time to learn anything and everything. By the way, it's my birthday in less than a week, y'all. That's right. It's my birthday soon. Wanted you guys to know. I'm not a big holiday or birthday person, man. I'm terrible at it. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with my birthday being close to Christmas, really close to Christmas, where I just, I don't know, over the years, I just don't think it's, it's just, I don't celebrate it the same way people do it. But my mom's coming into town soon, So I'm going to be hanging out with her, Tatum, maybe a couple close friends, and then that's it. I'm going to put Dade Murphy's shout out on screen for everybody to see. These are all people I know. I see him out there. Shout out to Problems, JC, LLs, Jared, Ferret, Chaz, Philly Joe, Smack Tracks, and all the NYC crew. Yo, Dade, thank you for the shout out of them, man. Shouting everybody out. Dade, we're going to have to get you to ride some trails in North Carolina, guy. Get you on a mountain bike. We got Ronald Waters in here. What's good, G? How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. You started biking through your city because of your vids. Dude, that's good to hear. I'd love to hear that you're out there riding, dude. Terry, someday you should check out the trails in Lynn Woods, north of Boston. Legendary rock climbs and rollers. Just ask the trail boss. Here, I'm going to look at it right now. Trail Forks. I wonder if it's the same trails I'm thinking of. Lynn Woods. I'm looking in Trail Forks right now. Is that the one that's the place they call Vietnam, right? Or is that, maybe that's not. I think that's actually east of Boston. It's not Belmont. What's going on with the audio? I don't know, man. Is it messed up? Probably is. I'm not very good at audio. Lynn Woods. I wonder. I think I've seen Brian ride there before. How much flare is enough flare for gravel drops? You don't need any flare, really, dude. You can ride a gravel bike with flat bars if you enjoy that, or regular road bars. You know what I mean? But I ride with the. I don't even know how much flare my bars have. It's been so long since I bought anything for the Drifter. It just works, you know. Busy Bee coming to the city. I know, she's excited. Thank you, Jack. Vietnam is more central Mass. East of Boston is the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, that's what I meant. West of Boston. I know. Thank you for the geography lesson there. I meant west. Thank you. That's funny. Yes, the Atlantic Ocean, just east of Boston. I think that's it, guys. My Spotify playlist is over. And I think it's time for me to go. So we can do this again. Huge shout out to all the channel members who've been here. It's going on, man. I think we started channel members 2 years ago, so it'll be 2 years strong. A lot of different colors being showcased on these ceramic eagle icons that we have going on here. Appreciate it. I hope you guys are ready for some mountain biking soon. It's that time of year, and it's what I want. It's what I need to ride. We'll get this bike here all fixed up. Get that fork put back in there soon, and a new headset because I blew up the top headset. It's been broken for a while, actually. I'm finally replacing it. And then we'll get to the first video is actually I need to ride these wheels, these elite wheels, these carbon wheels. I owe owe you guys a ride. At least, I mean, there's gonna be plenty of rides with them, but I just, I'm gonna do a ride with them and then talk about them for sure. That's something that I need to do. It's a video that I have to make. I gotta tell you guys about these wheels that Elite sent over to me, and let you know if they're good or not, because I think you can buy those wheels as they are for like $800, which is still a lot of money, but for a carbon wheel set, very, very, very cheap. So anyways, more of that stuff coming soon. Like I said in for channel members only in one of my community posts, is that I am not going to be putting out videos just to put them out anymore. I'm only gonna, I'm not saying I'm gonna stop doing these like POV videos. I'm still gonna do those, but the consistency, I'd rather put more time into a video than just put rides out all the time. So if you are looking for straight raw rides, I'm probably going to start putting more of those on More Terry B. So check those out if you're into that. And we'll do another Q&A soon. If you want to know and get your questions in there, I'll usually put a post on the community board for channel members to see. And or if you're someone who's not on YouTube channel members and you're a very rare Patreon supporter, which I still have going, I think there's like 6 people on there who are Patreon supporters, maybe a little more. You can I always put a post on Patreon as well, so you can put questions there. No one put any questions on Patreon. I was a little upset about it. Somebody liked it though. That's cool. Rydalin, thank you for joining the channel, man. Welcome to the NX level. We'll see you guys